Well, thank you for welcoming back once again. I had the pleasure of coming here many times as Lieutenant Governor, but also when I was something known as an Erie County clerk, I oversaw 7 auto bureaus in upstate New York, and I always went to the Western New York, the Buffalo area shows, and so this is part of my DNA. I grew up in a town that manufactured Ford vehicles. Up the road were GM vehicles, so you don't come from a manufacturing side of our state and not fall in love with automotive vehicles and the whole industry. And I want to thank, first of all, where we are. The Javits Center is why I wanted to be here today as well, to say when the Javits Center is back, when the auto show is back, that is the clearest sign that New York is back. So let's give everyone a round of applause who held on during some really challenging times, and to Alan Steele, the CEO and president of the Javits Center, who converted this place into a hospital and a testing site and a vaccination site during COVID, and was able to continue a 1.2 million square foot expansion during those most trying times. So this building is a testament to the resiliency of New Yorkers, as is this show that has been here for over 100 years. We had a little break in the action, but never again will we ever have to do that. So to Mark Scheinberg, the president of the Greater Auto Dealers Association, thank you for having the faith, never giving up and keeping strong through these times, as well as your board of directors, Oliver Broadleaf. I want to thank him for being the chairperson, John LaSorsa, the chair of the entire show, and of course, Mark Schroeder, who is the commissioner of DMV, who'll be joining us many times during this show, who also hails from Buffalo, New York. The Power Authority. Why is the Power Authority such an important presence here today? Well, electric vehicles. Who's putting up those amazing charging stations all over our state with proceeds from electric power and hydroelectric power from upstate New York? So Justin Driscoll, thank you in your service as our interim president, and everyone else involved in this. So I just had a chance to see the electric vehicle track, which is extraordinary. It was huge. Now, they all want to know if I want to drive my first electric vehicle. It's like, no, I've done this a lot. My job, we go around the state, was to be the person who taught people how to charge when we put in new charging stations all over the thruway and at convenience stores. So I have seen the future already, and I embrace this future, because this future is going to lead us into vehicles that'll understand the relationship of the manufacturers and the dealers, who understand the relationship of what we do as consumers and our transportation modes and what that has, the impact that has on our climate. So finally, we stop this war between our vehicle transportation and an assault on the environment with leaning hard into electric vehicles. And that is why by the year 2035, 100% of new vehicles sold in the state of New York will be zero emissions. We are leading the nation, my friends, and it's starting right here in the state of New York, and I'm very, very proud of that. Also, the economic impact of this industry, as you heard from Mark, the 4th largest retail industry in the state of New York, 70,000 jobs, $4.3 billion in wages alone, in addition to what he said was a $53 billion industry. That is an industry that needs to be reckoned with and dealt with and embraced, and not to put artificial barriers in your way to your success. There's been enough problems. The frustrating thing coming out of this pandemic is there's demand for new vehicles. Everybody wants one. All this pent-up demand and people wanting to get out on the open roads again and to celebrate life. And yet there's supply chain disruptions, globally induced, that have brought us to our knees. This is a frustrating time, so when you have the chance, get out there and support these dealers, support these hardworking individuals, and tell them how much we appreciate all they do day in and day out. But here we have a chance to open the doors to New Yorkers and people from around the country and perhaps the world to see what innovation looks like. All the new vehicles, all the new models, all the new excitement surrounding this industry. And I want to say today, I've got 2 quick announcements. We are announcing that we are going to have electric charging stations at LaGuardia Airport. So they're going to be installed very shortly. Thank you, NYPA, for that, as well as another 100 fast chargers around the state. So we're going to continue leading into this. We are investing $1 billion in electric vehicle infrastructure, and so we're going to continue our rebates. We're going to do everything we can to help promote the automotive industry right here in the state of New York, but most importantly, This says we are back. Welcome back, New York. It starts right here at the Auto Show. Get down here, have a great time, and celebrate what we love about this city and this state, and that is our industry, and this is one of the greatest industries in the state. Thank you, everybody.